At Property Buyer in Melbourne in particular, we don't normally recommend that people buy in country towns or even coastal towns for that matter, and there are specific reasons, but this is a good example of where I would recommend buyers, whether it be investors or even owner-occupiers, to buy in a country coastal town. And there are 6 reasons why I think St Andrews in Scotland, for example, is a really good buying opportunity, and certainly an area that I would recommend for buyers. I'm standing here in St Andrews University. It's one of the most prestigious universities in the whole of UK. In fact, it ranks, I think, second behind the London School of Economics. So that's another thing that gives real estate a lot of value. Also, if you have a look over here, behind me you can see a little tree. That tree there, that was a tree that was donated, or planted, I'm sorry, by Kate Middleton and William in honour of Queen Elizabeth II. But the architecture here is just incredible. Reason number 1 is St Andrews University. It's a prestigious, renowned university globally, and in particular, students from the United States make their way to St Andrews University. It's one of the most recognised and one of the most respected universities in the UK. I think, depending on which survey you read, it may come second after the London School of Economics in terms of its education, and it's so renowned, it attracts people from all around the world. So that's reason number 1. Okay, reason number 2, it's the home of golf, and it's where modern golf started and was invented. St Andrews is recognised globally as the home of golf, and a lot of international tourists and also international investors come here to invest money and to buy real estate here and to enjoy the benefits of not only playing at the old course but all the other courses around here. It's ideal as a holiday house, and it's also ideal to live here, whether it be permanently or semi-permanently. So St Andrews being the home of golf is reason number 2 to invest in St Andrews. Standing in front of a property here on the corner, it's called the Hamilton Grand. It used to be a hotel, and you may remember it as a backdrop in the famous movie Chariots of Fire. It's no longer a hotel. It was bought by, in the movie, the hotel's called the Carlton. But it's no longer a hotel, and it was bought by the Kohler Group, an American company that specialises in plumbing. They bought it, they refurbed it and sold off a lot of the apartments. They kept the top 3 for themselves, and I think from memory some of these apartments here sold for in excess of $9 million. So it represents one of the most expensive pieces of real estate in Scotland, and some other areas of Scotland which are quite expensive are also near golf courses. But one of the things that makes the real estate here so expensive, other than the fact that it has a historical significance in terms of how it relates to golf in particular, one of the things with these residents here is they get to use this course, and this course is a public course. And whilst the fees are fairly expensive, relatively speaking, they do have access to the course where most people would need to book a year in advance. So the fees that they pay relative to their income, I suppose, because they're wealthy people that live here, the fees that they pay are very insignificant, and they do have access to the course. So the easy access to the course, and it's such a remarkable course, easy access to the course gives value to a lot of the real estate here, which is owned by a lot of golf people throughout the world. So, you know, players like Tiger Woods, etc., have invested heavily in this area and some of the buildings here. The history is just incredible. You might want to read up on it, but it relates back to the government granting land to the Catholic Church and the use of this area as a pilgrimage. The famous bridge over there that I'll have in some of the photos. It's a very significant place, especially for esteemed golfers and for novices and hacks like myself. I just love the feeling that you get when you come here, and the inspiration that probably people before me have had coming and visiting this famous place. Reason number 3, St Andrews is a very small town. I think there are only about 16,000 people, and it has a very shortage of housing. So there's only a very small housing supply, and the very small housing supply is further restricted because of planning laws. Even countryside has restrictions, so it's very difficult as tourists come through here and as the population increases, whether it be permanent, semi-permanent or casual. Very difficult because of the supply side economics for there to be new supply into the marketplace with increasing demand. So the shortage of housing and the scarcity of land and the high restriction of planning laws makes it difficult for new properties to come through into the market, and what it means is existing land prices escalate. So that's reason number 3, shortage of housing and planning laws. Reason number 4 is the reason we're here. It's a very important and great tourist attraction, especially for people like myself who love golf, etc. It's a well-known tourist spot, and what it means is that, especially for high-end tourists, and what it means is that a lot of the housing supply is used for short-term letting or medium to longer-term letting, which then restricts local people or people that want to buy here for permanent residency. So St Andrews being a very popular tourist tourist attraction means that there's increasing demand, and unfortunately a lot of the stock is being used for tourists as opposed to local owner-occupied purchasing. So reason number 4 is really good tourism. This is the tree planted by Mary, Queen of Scots in St Andrews. After being educated in France, she wanted to get along with the Scottish people, and this was a donation. They don't grow a lot, so a lot of people think it's this tree here, which is massive, but it's not. It's this one here. So a bit of history for you. The university. So this coffee shop behind me is where Prince William and Kate met for coffee for the first time. It's also where they broke off for a little while, apparently, for the first time. They both went to St Andrews University, so there you go, there's a little bit of history. Reason number 5, it's what we call in marketing terms the snob effect, and it's a prestigious place to live in. So I hate the word snob, but it's a marketing term. It's a well-known marketing term, and it's people come to live here because it's quite prestigious. It's got beautiful coastal scenery. It's very easy to walk around, and it's got a great sense of community and camaraderie. The people are very well mannered. The streets are clean. It's very picturesque, and people just love saying that they either live here, no different to living in Oxford or Cambridge or these sort of areas. So the prestigious place, if you like, of St Andrews makes it an ideal place to buy real estate. So that's reason number 5.
Chooses not to, and some people say that he simply does not.
And finally, reason number 6, St Andrews has great international appeal. I think I spoke recently about where Prince William and Kate Middleton met. There are stories here of England. It's just a well-known place internationally. So even when the economy is flat and things are not going well, it still retains its luster, its appeal, and people still keep coming here. So I wouldn't say it's recession-proof, but the international flavour that it attracts here means St Andrews retains its value as a great destination place, and because of its international appeal. So if you put all those 6 things together, it adds up to St Andrews being a fantastic place to invest as a real estate buyer, whether it be to live here as a holiday house, or even certainly to invest here for rental purposes, whether it be short, medium or long-term stay. So for me, St Andrews is the goer.
Also the oldest person to win the Open, and then young Tom Morris won 4 consecutive titles between the ages of 17 and 21. He had quite a tragic life story to him. So his wife went into early labour, and unfortunately his wife died, and then he died some months later of a brain hemorrhage, although some people say he died of a broken heart. And it's for that reason we believe young Tom Morris to be a ghost on the old course. Like, he's a friendly ghost, and if your golf skills aren't too great, he's said to return balls that golfers have lost. So there is a positive spin on the story.